Now, can you see my browser, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to walk through us is basically this. This one? Yes. Okay, data science is VS Code. So let me share this one in the chat. Okay, somebody I think is giving some suggestion in the channel. Please note down that. So for people that have not, finding it or struggling with VS Code, how to get started. The first thing, if we want to start using VS Code, we already know, you just download the VS Code. The reason why we encourage using VS Code, it has a lot of advantages. It's free and open source. And in fact, it is one of the widely used, IDE because of a lot of advantages, extension, and whatsoever. But, this is opinion, right? Some people will prefer to use JetBrains stuff, right? So you can do whatever you want, the tool you want, but for those that are just getting started, you can use VS Code. So you install the VS Code. We can just go here and do installation. You download VS Code. So this is the first step to get started. You install the VS Code. Some people will know that we have what you call daily build for VS Code. We have what is called daily build. So this is stable version of VS Code. However, there is what is called daily build VS Code. So daily build VS Code is just like, Code Insider. Well, yeah, we call it Insider. So some people may have two versions. So what is Insider? So Insider is like a latest version of VS Code with new releases, but it's not stable. So when you install VS Code from Insider, you will have new features, but the stable version, this one is stable, like, there is no issue, but this one you will have, maybe some errors may come, but you have latest versions of features. So all other people, a lot of other people use, Insiders, but if you don't want to get any trouble, just use the VS Code, stable version. So just to let you know that there are two different versions of VS Code. Now let's assume we install VS Code. Why do we need that? Because you can see there are a lot of stuff, IntelliSense. So VS Code is one of the, it is very slight, code editor, meaning that it is, comes without pre-built stuff that will make you a bug or programming laggy or something like that. You install everything yourself. So you can do Python, you can do R, you can do C++, everything you can do, but you need to go and install from extensions. So let's assume that a new baby is born. Then when a new baby is born, he doesn't know how to speak, he doesn't know how to play, So it's around the day you install it, everything is installed. So just like VS Code, when you download VS Code, it's light version, it's so light. You go and if you want to do Python, you install Python package. If you want to do C++, go and install C++. Whatsoever you want, you just install it. So you can see these are some of the advantages. It has what you call IntelliSense. You may know what is IntelliSense. It's a feature that allows you, to code faster, give you suggestion while you are writing. For example, for me, I'm using, some of this feature and other ones that I don't even need to write a code. I will just write something. Hey, write a program for me that will, calculate the square root, and it will just write the code for me. So, this is something, from that. You can run and debug your code in VS Code. It has a built-in Git. So it has a built-in Git. So sometimes we use Git, whether using desktop, GitHub desktop or whatsoever, or from terminals to clone repository, to push, to do whatsoever. But VS Code had these built-in features, and it also has these tons of extensions. So that is one of the reasons why you can see, extensively customizable stuff. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons we are using this VS Code. Okay, so right, so this is VS Code. If you have not installed the VS Code, please we can move, follow together and do that together. I will quickly
Hassan Sani, your mic is on.
Please, when you join me, try to mute your.
I think you can make Idris co-host so that he can help mute people that.
Okay. Okay. Idris, where are you? Okay, my bottom made okay, co-host. Ibrahim, okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's installation of VS Code. Now, let's assume we all install VS Code. Now, what can you do? The first thing after installation of VS Code, you see you need to go and install some tools. The first thing is Python extension for VS Code. So this is the first thing you need to do. So if you install it, you will see something like this here, which is called extension. This is where you install different stuff. So I can come here and say Python. So you see this one called IntelliSense, right? IntelliSense. So this is the Python stuff. You can see, how many people install this. Essentially 75 million people. So this is what you install. You don't install this one, then install other ones. You install this one. That's what you need to install. But there are many other packages that will help us along the way while doing, a Python package. But for now, we don't need to, make things difficult for you. Some previously, while the, when the, what do you call it? When, when there wasn't support for Jupyter, there are a lot of other stuff for that. But also, when you install that Python, please come and install something like this called Jupyter. So this Jupyter, I presume previously like Python is along with Jupyter, but I think it's not. So come and install this extension called Jupyter. Just search for this. You can see it has like 56 million installation. So now two things: install Python. Right, this one you can see 75 million. Install Jupyter. This Jupyter in VS Code allows you to run Jupyter inside VS Code. We already know you can run Jupyter in browser. You can run Jupyter in many other platforms, but in VS Code, it is now becoming the norms. Everyone does that. So that's about that. But there are many things you can do. So you can see here check for update, extension update. You can check for update. You can disable extension. You can actually auto update. You can say, okay, all auto update. You can set them here. But also you can see something like this. This one, when you click it, there is category of Python, extensions. So for example, if I say give me extension for data science, when I click this one, let's wait. So you can see when I click this one, it shows me extensions that are very useful for data science. I have Python. You can see this in the top one, which we already installed. So they are, they are listed based on number of installations. So Python is the most installed Python, in data science, extension. Then you can see we have Jupyter. And then we have many other things, Jupyter Notebook renders, Rainbow, all of this on Julia, you can see them. Code GPT, and you already know what GPT is now. And so this code GPT is something that allows GPT, right? So it's something, and this is Python code snippet. So a lot of stuff. But now, to just make it simple, we installed two things, Python and Jupyter. But you can also see other categories, many things, machine learning. For example, I can say, give me Python for machine learning. So you can see GitHub Copilot. So this is also another one that I'm using, GitHub Copilot. Look at the GitHub Copilot here in my extension here. So when you have extension, it will be somewhere here. So you can see here, I have ChatGPT, I have GitHub Copilot, I have something called Jupyter. They are very useful. I will discuss about them a lot later. So when you have this installation, when you click here, you see extensions. So you can, for example, here I have GitHub Actions. When I click it here, you can see GitHub Actions in my, because you can have something that you quickly access in here. And when I want to disable this one, I can just say GitHub, action, I disable it, and I can chat GPT, I disable it, something like that. And I can disable GitHub Copilot. So you can see it's removed. Okay, so now this are the two things, but there's another one that I really like and that may be useful for us, which is called, Project Manager. So go to extensions, click Project Manager. Yes, can you see something called Project Manager? This one, Project Manager. You can see it has like 3 million installation, right? 3 million installations. It's called Project Manager. Just install it, we will see what will happen. So now we have installed 3 things. We have installed Python, number 1. We have installed Jupyter Notebook, number 2. Number 3, we have installed Project Manager. Okay, that's good for us. Now, after you install that, the next thing we can see from this is after you do some installation, the next thing is to install Mini-Conda. So what is Mini-Conda? We already know Conda, right? Anaconda. So Anaconda distribution, when you install Anaconda on your computer, Anaconda is very huge. It's very large in the sense that when you install it, you will install a lot of other stuff that you may not really need at this point in time. It can take a lot of space in your computer. One of the lighter version of Anaconda is called Mini-Conda. Yeah, you can see from the name Mini, so small of Conda. So what is Mini-Conda? Which is Mini-Conda, it contains everything you need, at minimal level. So when we come here, Mini-Conda, you can come here and install for Windows, download Mini-Conda. For OS, you download that. For Linux, so this is Mini-Conda. It's free. Yeah, it is a small bootstrap version of Anaconda. So you can see that. So you can install this one. So now 3 steps for you to get started with VS Code. The first one, install VS Code. We done, right? The second step, install Python extension in VS Code from what we call extension marketplace. So this what we are seeing where we are going here is called extension marketplace, because it's somewhere else you buy some stuff, right? To get some, so it's called extension marketplace. So link for Mini-Conda. Okay, I share the link for Mini-Conda. Okay, I share the link for Mini-Conda. Right. So that's the start step to install Mini-Conda. You can see them. These are the only 3 steps you need to get started with VS Code at this point in time that we want for data science in VS Code. Install VS Code, install extensions, and now install VS Code. But if you already have Anaconda, then it is fine. You don't need to install Mini-Conda. If you already install Anaconda, you don't need to install Mini-Conda. But just to let you know that Anaconda take much more spaces for you. And why do we need this Anaconda and Mini-Conda? So Anaconda and Mini-Conda, when you install them, it automatically installs data science packages for you, such as Pandas, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, Keras, TensorFlow. So if you install Anaconda, it will install all of this stuff. So that's why you don't need to go and do manual installation of packages, pip install whatsoever, and something like that. All right, so that's installation of preparation of VS Code. Any question before we move on? Any question? Any question? Okay, right. So before we start doing anything in VS Code or in data science, you remember we need to create
Doctor.
Yes, go on, Doctor.
They can ask question now, because before they cannot unmute themselves because of the noises. So but now
okay.
allow you to mute. You can unmute yourself and you can ask question if you.
Okay, unmute yourself and ask question, please.
Maybe no questions.
Okay, so maybe no question. So now we install VS Code. So you can do some kind of customization in VS Code. So somebody is asking, is there any difference between Anaconda and Mini-Conda? I said Mini-Conda is just a small version of Anaconda. They are the same, but Anaconda insert a lot of other things that you may not be necessary to you. Mini-Conda install the minimal details, minimal you need. So you can search for Google different. So you can do a lot of other, customization. So for example, if you come here in VS Code, come to theme, color theme. If I come to color theme, I can change the color theme of my, VS Code. You can see here, it changes to this color theme. You can see I can change to here. You can change whatsoever you want. You can see them. Can you see the changes? Can you see my theme is changing?
So,
okay, so this is one thing, but also, when you have you install just VS Code, there is some ways where you can even learn how to navigate through VS Code. Okay, cool. Okay, so cool. Right. Okay, so we'll come to here what clone repository operand whatsoever. We'll come to this one, but let me just move on to other important things. Now we installed this thing. Now, how can you get started with using VS Code? The first thing is we need to create an environment in our computer using Conda environment. We already know this Conda, so after you install mini Conda and you install Python, you install VS Code, you install this, the next thing is, to get started is to create an environment where you will be doing your Python or data science stuff. So what is the meaning of this environment? So sometimes you see, if you have a house, a big house, and you want to create just, somewhere else in the house where you will be studying just to have a library, you demarcate that room for study, you put some books and whatsoever, that is for study. So in data science, if you want to do some, experiment, or you want to do some project, we create what we call, we create what is called environment that is solely for that project. So we use a Conda. So this Conda is a command. After we already install mini Conda or Anaconda, you can use Conda to create environment. So how can you do that? So if you come here, we come to VS Code. If you come to VS Code, for example, I can use my terminal here. You can see my terminal here, right? You can see my terminal here. I have my terminal. So one good thing with VS Code is like you have your terminal, everything is integrated. You have your integrated terminal. So you can come to here, terminal. So you can come to terminal, or in my computer, I have a shortcut. I don't use that. I use just control something hash. It just put, I have a shortcut. I don't know what is a shortcut in Windows. So just check, you can check your shortcut. So yeah. So, but if you don't have that, you can say new terminal here. It can open the terminal for you. You can see you have your terminal, right? And you can create another terminal, multiple terminals. So maybe example, I'm working on something here on this terminal. You can say, okay, I need to create another terminal. You can create here. So you have another terminal. So you can see, you can, do something like this in your terminal. You can also create another terminal. You can see, so you can have multiple terminals. We will also come to discuss about how to navigate through terminal. But just to let you know, we have something terminal here. Now, for you to get started, you need to create environment where you'll be working. So how can you create environment? So you can see something like Conda, create, you have something like my env. This is called my environment. You name the environment. So let me copy this one example, copy this, like this. Okay, let me just copy this, guys. I paste it here. Can you see? I paste this guy here. Conda create. This is just the command Conda create minus my environment. So this is called my environment. Oh God, this one cannot allow me to edit. Oh, let me go back to my terminal, normal terminal. So I have another terminal. So you can see one good thing, bad thing in using terminal, whether in your Windows or whatever here. I cannot just jump here, just like my micro OS window. Word, where text processing just to edit this is not possible. You cannot move. So I have there is something that I'm using here my terminal called WAP. So this is like one of the new terminal. Okay, let me show you WAP. This is an WAP terminal. So this is they call the terminal for the 21st century. So this is intelligent terminal that allow you to do many things. So let me show you here. So for example, I want to change this, my environment. So you can see, I can just come and say, okay, Arewa data science, this is my environment. So why do we need to create environment? As I said, if you want to do data science projects, it is good to create environment for each of your projects so that you install the packages needed for that project, and they don't interfere with other projects. So for example, if you are creating maybe doing machine learning project to, with TensorFlow, then you need to create your environment that you install TensorFlow, you install Python and whatsoever. And if you are using, another project with PyTorch, then you create environment with PyTorch and whatsoever. So you can see for me, I have an environment. Can you see my environment here called data science? This is my environment called data science. So anything that I'm working on data science, I just enter into this environment. I have my packages installed in data science whatsoever. So let's assume now you are new, you want to create environment. This is the command you want to use, Conda, create. Then you put this, you name of the package environment. Then you start putting what you want to install. So I want to install Python version 3.10. I want to install pandas. I want to install whatsoever. So these are some of the packages we already know in data science. We'll come to that. So when you do this, you can say, okay, install. So you can see it start installing, right? Can you start installing? So I just cut it off. But also there is another thing. I'm using okay, so let me show you something. Mamba. So there you see I use Conda, right? It's doing some. So let me use another command called Mamba. So when I install it, click here. Can you see something going fast? So there is another package called Mamba. So Mamba, just like Conda, is a package manager, but implemented in C++. We already know C++ is such a faster stuff. I think I have something like this, Mamba. Anyway, okay, Mamba. So you can get something if you, because it's some package manager. Mamba package manager. Okay, yeah. So if we look at this one in GitHub, Mamba, so you can see Mamba, the fast cross-platform package manager. Why Mamba? Implementation of Conda packet in C++. You can do parallel downloading. So when you are using Conda and something you are downloading or installing is very huge, it is slow, but Conda, Mamba can do downloading parallel. It can do parallel downloading. And there is a lot of stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there are a lot of stuff. So here you can see, like I'm trying to do, when you go back here, the previous one that I was trying to use, Conda. So look at Conda. Can you see how slow it is? Something like that. But the Mamba is, so this is just to tell you that different, stuff you can do. So now let's go on and create an environment with, Conda called Arewa Data Science. So it's telling me, should I install everything here? I say yes. Then I put what? So it's downloading now the packages for me, all the packages for me. And by the way, you can do this in here, this one here. You can do it here. Arewa Python 3.1, pandas in your, I can say Arewa DS. No, let me come here. Arewa DS version 2, something like that. So I said install Python 3.10, install pandas. So you can click yes. So you say yes. So please, if you have question, ask a question. Oh, the screen is not clear. Which one is not clear, please? Someone is asking.
I've rectified it. It's for me here.
Okay. So now you can see now here, I install Conda. I install an environment already called Arewa Data Science 2. And you can see to activate the environment, just use Conda activate environment this. To deactivate, you use Conda deactivate. We'll come to discuss this in details, but now just to get started, how you can start using VS Code. Don't get confused if you are not familiar with it, so if I want to get activate this, already I have my data science, you can see this. Some people will ask, why your your terminal is somehow different from our own. So yeah, so my terminal, yeah, so somebody is asking how can I modify my terminal. So this is something good. You can create what we call my ZSH terminal customization. So you can go to my ZSH, customize your terminal with my ZSH. You know that. Okay, so let me go to Medium just to show you. My ZSH, the most powerful. Okay, this one they are using item. Item, I think, is for Mac. Anyway, okay, I just tell you customize as you know, terminal with all my ZSH. So just Google all my ZSH. I will put it in the here in the chat. I will also put it in the. Okay, so let me put this guy here as well. All my ZSH, right? So I have a Notion page that I can share with you here. Let me share the link for the Notion. So all the links, I will be putting them. I think last time we give this. Let me share the Notion page. Where is this? Share, copy. Okay. So I share the link here in the chat for the Notion page. We will be putting all the links I'm discussing at the end. But let me quickly finish this VS Code that Idris will walk us through the GitHub and Git. Let's see whether we can finish this one. If we have not finished, then we can take it the next week. All right. So if you want to, you know, my ZSH, this is something that you can customize, or we can say my ZSH GitHub. So you can see this, my ZSH. You can see it like 155,000 stars, you know, stars. So this is something that people are using. So is an open source community built for managing your ZSH configuration. So you can see it, you know, you can see how you configure this, but this is not necessary for everyone. This is not necessary for everyone. Okay, so don't bother about this. This is not necessary for you. Just use your terminal the way it is. It's not necessary. Okay, now what we have covered is this. We have shown how you can start, you know, install VS Code. We have shown how you can basically install package extension VS Code to install, you know, Python, to install Jupyter, to install project package manager. That's what we saw. And now we have seen now how you can install, create an environment in Python in the terminal. So for us to create an environment, we say conda, we use this word create, and now we use this, and now name of the environment, then we put the packages we want to install in that. So what packages are we trying to install in this environment? So I say, okay, install Python, install pandas, but we can install many other things, just an example. Okay, now you create everything. Now, how can you start doing something? So in VS Code, if you want to do anything, that's what we call command palette. Can we see this one, command palette? In my computer, this is the shortcut. I don't come here and create this one. So in your computer, look at the shortcut here and click it. So when I click the shortcut, it opens something for me. Can you see what it opens for me in my computer? Can you see it opens something?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need to come here, just come here. Command palette, can you see command palette? So click command palette. When you click command, it shows you. Now, we want to create a file now. Now, for us to do that, if you are working on existing folder on your computer, you can click here, file, open folder. That is to create a new folder for your project. If you are creating a new one, we can, you know, do something to create a new folder. You can add folder to Workspace. Don't bother about this, but you can create a new folder. So let me, you know, create this command palette. When I click command palette, then type Jupyter. Can you see it said create new Jupyter notebook? Create new Jupyter notebook. Can you see this one? Then click this one. Now, when you click this one, it will open something like this, create Jupyter notebook. And you see that it starts searching something here, trying to create, locate the environment you created. You remember we create Arewa data science too, right? So when you click on this, go search Arewa. Can you see Arewa data science too? Can you see it? Now click Arewa data science too, now that I just did. Now click it. Now you can now start working on your environment. If you don't click here to set the Python environment you install, things will not work. So this is just step by step. Create the environment. Now select the environment that you want to work on. I want to work on Arewa data science whatsoever, or you can create your environment called data science. Now, I would just want to show us how we can do our assignments, weekly assignments. So this is called Jupyter. You all know Jupyter. What you can do is come here. You can create a note Jupyter. You can see week 1. So when we say week 1, so you can see this is Jupyter Notebook. If you are not familiar with Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Notebook is kind of environment that allow you to write prose and code, allow you to write text and code. So you can, exchange it. You can say, convert this one to, to cell, convert this to whatsoever you want. So here we can see what I have. Okay, 1. Yep. So you can see here, it puts something like this for me, week 1, right? I can, this one, tells you how long. So if I want to, so this is the first one, week 1 assignment. I can see week 1 assignment here. So week 1 assignment, something like this. So what you can do now after week 1 assignment is to come here. So what is the question 1? So you can do question 1. Question 1. Something like this. So how am I getting this? So when I put this, I'm putting enter, or you can click here. Can you see? If you click here, then now that's if you want to write the code. So you write code. So you say, okay, A is equals to, okay. So let me use my, write a code. So I have what we call, anyway, I don't need to use.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, go on.
I did what I want to know. You renamed the week 1 assignment to question 1?
No. I just create the first cell by creating. Okay, let me come back. Can you see mark down here? You click it. When you click it, then I do like this. Do 1 hash and say, okay, week 1 assign week 1. Or whatsoever, or even if you didn't say assignment, something like this. Now, I have my week 1. Now, for you to do the questions, I say, okay, I create markdown, and again, now I do something like this. 4, maybe I say question 1. Now I click here, so I have my question 1. Now I can delete this guy. I can delete this guy. I can delete this guy. But question 1, if you want to answer the question, is in code, Python code. You click here. So you say, okay. What the question says, it wants me to add A is equals to 2, B equals to 3. Now, how can I, maybe the question asks me to sum A plus B. So I can say A plus B, A plus B. So this is the summation, right? Maybe it wants me, and the answer is C, and I want to put in the result. So now you finish your, okay, so there is something maybe you may experience while doing this. When I click here, can you see something coming up? Install require the PyKernel connect. Have you seen an error? Oh, you have not seen. Oh, I'm the one only seeing it.
We are seeing it.
We are seeing.
Okay, you are seeing it, the error, right?
Yes, we are seeing. Yeah.
Okay, so this is telling you to install what you call PyKernel package. So I don't know if you can see it, but it shows me something installed because it is asking me something is not installed and it's showing me installed. So when I click it, with the moment I click it, you can see like my terminal is installing something here.
Yeah.
Can you see my terminal?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So that's that. So when you install, then everything will work fine. So let me go back to, I don't want to waste time, to my data science, which I already have. So when you click this one here, which one I'm working on, my data science environment. Mamba. I have many environments, you know. Okay, so when I run this, you can see it's, you know, just install. So that's you finish question 1. Then you come over here, right? Question 2. Can you see question 2? Now you create your code and type question 2. So this is how you can have each, you know, weekly. I mean, no, day 1. Sorry, I want to say day 1. day 1. Okay, so day 1. So this is how you finish everything. Day 1, your assignment, and save it. Any question before we continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please, I want you to kindly repeat from this Jupyter stage, like where to create like how we just began this day 1 explanation, like how we even went to create.
Okay. So let me go back. Let me go back.
Okay.
With this somehow. So just a quick wrap up. So if you want to get started, we already mentioned this, install VS Code. We did that. Visit the website here, is downloaded. Number 2, install Python extension. How do you install Python extension? You come to VS Code, you type Python, which install this one. After you install this one, type Jupyter, install this one. So we see 2 things now. I also ask you to install package manager. Project manager, which is this project manager. Will see it is important. So 3 things. After we install these 3 things, what we need to do is we come back to our VS Code. If you click here, you will have something like this. You click here. Don't bother about all these details in the VS Code. We'll you know, discuss about them. So after you install this, what we said, you know, is to create an environment where you'll be working. So we clear here. So we need to create an environment. For you to create an environment, we said, oh, remember, we need to install also Conda. So when you install Conda, you come with this Conda. Can you see that? So Conda, this is a keyword. Create allows you to create, you know, environment where you will be working on. So in data science, we create environment if we want to do anything. So this is how you create the environment. Conda create this, you know, tag and, you know, name of the environment, then other things you want to install. We'll discuss more about this environment management later on, what the details about it, but just, you know that this is how you can create environment. But there are more details about how you can create, use Conda. I will share maybe other stuff about this. So when you create, okay, you can, so some people say we were told to use .py. You can do .py anything, but we just want you to get started with using Jupyter. But if you use your .py to create a file, that's also fine. So now after you create this, you run this to create an environment. It's telling me this exists. Do you want to install it? I say no. Okay, so already you have this environment. Now, how can you get started now? You create an environment. Now, for you to create, after you create an environment, you can work with either Jupyter or you can work with Python file. So for you to work with Jupyter, so we come to here. We come to command panel. You can say create file, whether Jupyter. You can see create Jupyter, create new file, create new Jupyter notebook. You click it, it just open here. When it just open here, then you can just basically, you know, start working on your files. So this is where we are now. So this is where we come to day 1 here. And
okay, so now I would have to download Miniconda also after downloading the Jupyter and all other extensions, right?
So you came late maybe. So we explained this one already. You need to install Miniconda.
Yes. It is not under the extensions.
No, it is not.
I have to.
Yes,
okay.
yes. It is not under extension. So this is where it is. Miniconda. Can you see Miniconda? And you can download if you have Windows, Mac OS or Linux. You install Miniconda. But if you already install Anaconda, you don't need to install Miniconda because you already have that. And the Miniconda is a small version of Anaconda. All right, so I'm explaining this one. I don't know, it will take me time. So maybe today we'll not even see how we can create the GitHub repository and push it maybe next week. But now, but also after you create the environment, you need to select the environment from here to start working on. So you need to select the environment, what the environment you created. And now, for example, I'm working on data science environment that I already have. If you create the name of the environment you have, you select it and write D1, write your example, D2. And now you can see here the file is not saved. You can save the file. You select somewhere in your desktop to name this file, whatsoever the name is, and you can give it maybe D1. You can just give it maybe D1 in your computer. So let me save it in my desktop, D1. Okay. So I click save. I saved it D1. I didn't save it correctly. D1. Yeah. So you can see I have a file, my file called D1. So you can see I have D1 here, right? I have D1 here. Now, this D1, okay. Yeah, we shared the recording, so we also share some videos. So you can see I have something like D1 here, which I say. Now, the importance of this project manager extension I showed you. Okay, let me leave you now with this project manager, not overwhelm you with many details, but now you have D1 here. Save on your computer folder already. Now, if you want to create another file, D2, and something like that. But also you can use the PYMB Python file. So for example, I can use this. So I can use this, create a file here. I can rename it. You see, this is a new file whatsoever. And you can also open folders. If you have existing folder now, you can open existing folder and get it and bring it into VS Code. Yes, anyone with question? I see other people asking, raising hand. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
When creating the environment, I saw you inserting some packages, and there is Python 3.10. Is it the version of the Python you are using? Or just...
Yes, exactly. So when I use that, I'm using the Python package. Okay, good question. So okay, let me go back. Yes, so here, this is a Python version. I'm using, I'm telling the installation, hey, install Python version 3.1010 and install Funda. So you can say, hey, install Python version 2.0, what's that? Or anyway, it's not supported anyway now. So this is telling you the version of the Python you are installing. And here you are telling it to install Panda. You are telling it maybe to install NumPy. We'll come to all these packages along the way. Yes. Any question again?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
And
Listen, I want to have, normally I want to run a program that accepts input from user in Jupyter Notebook. So the problem is that when I write enter radius, when I program to write enter radius, so it doesn't give me a space that I will enter the radius. So I don't know what is the problem.
Yeah, so it does actually. You see that you see it right now. We the best way if you are doing something programming to get input is just to Python pile, not Jupyter, but also it works with Jupyter Notebook. So you see it here at the top of where you see them. It prompts you here to use installation. So it works. Yeah, it works. So maybe you can try to do it again, but it works. I've done it before.
Thank you.
Yes, any question? So I think we are running out of time because we're gonna use Git, how to create. So for now today, I think what we covered like how you can set up your VS Code and whatsoever. Next week, Dr. Idris and Dr. Ibrahim will take us through how you can create GitHub repository, how you can push your assignment to GitHub, and how you can do every other thing. But for today, we understand how you can, set up your VS Code and how you can get started. Yeah. So any question again? Yes, Mahmoud, go on. Mahmoud, go on. Okay, maybe no question. So any question?
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
And I want to seek for more clarification. With regards to what was posted yesterday in our Telegram group platform, as if it was said that from now henceforth, we are going to be using weekends to cover of what we have not covered within the weekdays. So does that mean we are not going to be doing any new work in the weekends?
Okay, so we have Monday to Friday where you will be practicing what we have provided. Saturday and Sunday is meant for you to cover what you have missed, assignment and reading, and also for us to hold this office hour to chat with you. So you are not expected to continue working on that. Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Okay, so just to let you know, we check attendance, and this attendance also will determine, as we said, people moving to the next step. That's people that are attending our session, they are dedicated to that. Yes, go on, question.
Yeah, my question is with regard to opening a folder.
Yes.
You made mention of somebody can be able to open a folder that is in the desktop to
yes,
to the VS Code, isn't it?
Yes.
So what about if somebody already has the .py file that you wanted to into VS Code? Is it going to change the extensions or what?
Okay, so let's assume that I already have a .py. Let me give an example. So can you see my file now here? I have open folder. Can you see open folder? Can you see all open folder here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can see open folder here, I can see open folder, then this will open folder in my computer. So let me go to my computer now. Let me go to script. Okay, I have a folder. You are not seeing the folder in my computer, but I have the folder in my computer. But let me open it so that we can see something like. Okay, so I'm opening a folder. In my computer. No. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so I open a folder on my computer called, the name of the folder, you can see it. We have many stuff inside the folder, and inside the folder, for example, you can see we have the .py whatsoever. So you can create a .py file here. For example, here I can create the .py script, for example, .py. And you can create, you can do whatsoever you like using Python script. So you can work with your Python script. You can also work with your, Jupyter notebook. So anything can work. So you can, work with anything you have. So it's not like you work with only Jupyter in VS Code. You can work with, you can also work at the same time with script. So it's not like, so you can see here, for me here is something that work is just, Jupyter, because in data science, because we do, iterate, we try to do example, iterate, go over, iterate, we use Jupyter notebook. But it is okay, you can use your script, which is also fine. But as I'm telling you, it is widely used in data science using Jupyter notebook. Yes, Dr. Idris, you want to add something?
Yeah, so mine is not with regards to this, is on the mini conda. So I think there are some OS versions that do not have support for mini conda. So yeah, so I tried to install it on my own computer, but it was not possible doing that. So you have to do some work around. So you have to check the versions before even downloading to see the specifications in your own computer and see whether you have support for it there. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Good
Morning.
morning, everyone.
Morning.
Mine is, sir, I am using Anaconda, and in Anaconda there are some IDEs for so fellowship program I'm using Spider, and seriously I am saving my file with the py. So I don't know, and I because I'm using Spider, and you made mention that next week, inshallah, you are going to teach us how to push our assignment to GitHub. So I don't know if I can continue using my Spider, and is it okay from Spider to push our assignment to GitHub?
Yeah, that's a good question. Next week, Dr. Ibrahim and Dr. Idris will show us how we can, create GitHub, how we can push anything to GitHub, how we can do that. But if you are using Spider and you are playing with Spider, you can use combination of your Spider and GitHub desktop so that you can create a GitHub, you can do everything and push. But one good thing with, vscode, you can push everything from here. Can you see that? You can commit and push it. You can even pull it. You can see it. You can visualize your commit and see, how you can do whatsoever. You can see the commit. You can visualize. You can see who make edit or whatsoever. You can push. You can pull from here. You can see that. You can even create a branch of your GitHub repository. You can check out. You can do a lot of things for GitHub. So this is one of the advantage. So you can see, you can commit, you can see everything that you can do over GitHub. You can do them here, you can see them, you can push, you can do anything. So that's one of the reasons we said GitHub is also good. But I mean, VS Code is good, but you can see your commits, you can see them here, you can see your repository and other things. But it's fine. You can use it's fine. You use your what do you call it? Yeah, sunanta wacce abar wadda kake amfani da ita. What's the name?
Spider.
Spider, yeah, Spider. Yeah, I was using Spider. Actually, I moved from Spider to here. So yeah. So thank you. I think we are already on top of time, 3 minutes on top of the time. We already have attendance, and we publish the attendance so you to see who attend, who hasn't attend. Yeah, so I think that's what we got for today. Dr. Ibrahim, Dr. Idris, and Falalo, Kabila, anyone want to add something? So we basically use this time to show how we can use. I think it is useful because if we don't get started early to see how we can work with the VS Code, it will be difficult for all of us. So I think it is worthwhile taking the time to just introduce how you can move along the VS Code. There are a lot of other stuff with the VS Code. I will share a YouTube video where you can watch and learn a lot of things you can do in VS Code, which we may not necessarily show us. And so inshallah, next week, we'll be able to see how we can work with the GitHub and Git on our computer. All right. Any question? Okay, so I think.
Okay, sir. Can I? Is there any clash because I really want to install this VS Code now in my computer because of the training that you give us today? Seriously, I'm interested in the VS Code. So can I install the VS Code without clashing to my Anaconda, or should I install the Anaconda first?
No, you can use n number of IDEs, any number of IDEs you like. You can do whatsoever you like. So you can install VS Code. You can use Spider. You can use JetBrains or ID whatsoever. It will not have any clash. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Any question?
Yes, sir. I still have an error. It's throwing an error regarding this conda, whatever, creates Arewa, but I don't know whether it is from my OS or I should just forget about it and create it manually. It said the term conda is not recognized in the name of a CMD, something like that.
Okay. So you mean I hear that Idris is saying some stuff, whether related to what? Idris, yeah, I hear you saying some error.
What is he asking? Sorry.
There is an error related to installation of Conda, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's throwing an error that it is not recognized as a name of a CMD, something like that.
Oh, are you trying
so
to
I don't know that specific error, but what you should make sure is before downloading any application is try to search what versions suit your own device. If there are no versions that suit it, maybe, and if you really want to use it, there might be some workaround on the online that you might have to search. But I think most computers, I don't know, are you using Windows?
Yeah, yes, I'm using Windows.
Okay, so I think most Windows computers, 7, 8, 10, and maybe subsequent versions have many support for this type of software. So try to just.
I have a question, please.
Okay, go on.
So please, I have a question. So my network is moving somehow, but my question is that please, if you can, how can I convert my .py programs into the Jupyter programs? Because sometimes I have some errors and
Yeah, you're actually breaking. You are not audible enough. But I think you are saying how can you convert your .py to Jupyter notebook format? Is that correct? Okay, so I think we should not hold people here. It's already an hour. Please, if you have more questions, let's post the question in our Telegram so that we can attend them. Thank you all for joining us today. It's already an hour, and sorry for taking you more minutes, 7 more minutes on top of that. And we see you inshallah next week. And let's continue discussion via the Telegram channel. So bye bye for now, tata.